Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about investments. So if you're interested in investments, wondering what investments are, how to get into it, and also looking at a beginner's portfolio like myself, stick around. In today's video I'll show you all about investing. So what actually is investing? So investing is where you buy shares in companies, that you hold those shares and you hope for the value to go up. So when they do go up, you then sell your shares and then make some money off it. Share prices can fluctuate. The reason why they fluctuate is there's numerous factors why they can go up or down, but generally speaking, if a business is doing well, it's making profits year on year, it's reporting very, very good figures, then generally speaking, the share price will go up. However, it all depends on numerous factors, and that's why I think most people are put off by investing and they don't really know much about it because they think it's too scary, it's too volatile, and they just don't want to risk it. However, for those people, I've got some really bad news. Inflation is actually outweighing the savings interest on UK bank accounts. So if you've got a bank account and you're putting in savings each month, let's say you're putting in £500 each month, at the end of the year, you're actually only going to earn anywhere from 0.5% to 1%, depending on what account you've got. But inflation is probably going to be about 2.5%, 3%. So actually, your money is losing value whilst keeping it in the bank. Therefore, you really, really need to think about investing and making sure your money grows at a higher rate than inflation. So now you know a little bit about investing and what actually it is. How do you get into it? Well, there's loads of ways you can get into investing. There is absolutely loads of apps. So there's eToro, Trading 212, Free Trade. There's so many apps that you can use now to buy shares in company, hold them, and then sell them at a profit, hopefully. With so many apps and things nowadays, it is very, very easy to get into investing. It just takes the balls to just go ahead and start investing, give it a go, and see how it goes. Most of these apps, for instance, Trading 212 is really, really good for this. If you set up a practice account, you can put on as much money as you want through the practice account, and you can try and trade on the live markets and try and make some money out of it. I would recommend giving it a go on the free system, so just using practice money, just see how it is, how the market reacts to news and things like that. And what the hype of like YouTube and investors are talking about on forums and things. Just give it a go, just see where you can get at with a practice account, because you're not risking anything, you're simply just learning how investing works. I typically spend about anywhere between a month to 6 months practicing. So let's go hop on now to eToro and let's see how my beginner's portfolio of around about £500 is getting on. Okay guys, so I've just jumped onto my computer now to go through eToro, my investments, and actually the website itself a little bit. So when you go onto the website, this is what it looks like. There is actually an app that you can download on your iPhone or whatever, and use that. It's very easy, very clean, and very user friendly, so you can go ahead and do that. So just jumping into my eToro now, welcome screen is obviously your portfolio value and obviously what value it's at today. You can see it's worth £409 today. I've actually deposited £200 in September and £200 at the start of October. So if I could just quickly show you, my account was started on the 15th of September 2021. $275, I think it was equivalent to £200 at the time. I then deposited that and dropped slightly, as you can see there, and on the 27th of September I made another deposit of around about £200 again, so that you can see the investment there is now $545, but slowly but surely that's a little bit up to $560 or so dollars, and which is the equivalent of £409. So far I've made about a 2.3% increase on my investment. I've made $12.90p, which is probably going to be about £8 or £9 or so. So just going over to my portfolio, I'm currently copying two traders at the moment, Nezutron and EDB123. Previously I was copying a trader called Richard, and Richard made a post on his portfolio saying that he doesn't think his investments are going to do very well up until Christmas. and therefore advise people to stop copying him. So I went ahead and stopped copying him. I think I made about a $2 loss or $3 loss, which is nothing. I think it was about 1%, if that. So it wasn't too bad at all, and I was pleased that he let his copiers know. And so I went ahead and found Eddie B123. Now, how I did this was using the Discover menu on eToro, and what this does is basically show you all the recent traders that most people are copying. It tells you their return in the previous 12 months, and that's how I found Eddie B123. You can click on their profile, you can read about them all on their feed and what they've posted about. There's a little bit of a description here of who they are, what their sort of risk is, risk tolerance, which is between 1 and 7, 7 being more risky, 1 being less risky. What sort of results they've had. So if you click stats here, you can see 2019 he made 19% in that year, 49% on his investments in 2020, and so far he's made 15.5% in 2021. Now, most investors have struggled this year in March, July and September. So if you do find any investors that are green in those 3 months, particularly March and September, you are very, very lucky. So you would want to look out for investors that have been positive throughout the year, obviously, but as long as they're positive overall over the 12 months, that is absolutely brilliant. So Eddie is quite a low risk investor, so I think he's evaluated at 4 average risk over the last 7 days, so he's quite a low risk, so you don't tend to see massive 20%, 15% out of him. It's just typically about 1 to 5 to 7, and he never really makes huge losses either. So overall he's been positive, so that's why I've gone for Eddie. So far so good. It's not maybe huge losses or anything like that, so slowly but surely it should grow, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's made some really good investments. He's got big names in there: Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, Alibaba. He's got Spotify. PayPal's making a bit of a loss, unfortunately. Netflix is making a decent gain. He's got some solar energies in there, Peloton and things like that. So he's got a really broad variety of investments in his portfolio. So if we go back to my portfolio, you can see there that I've made literally nothing, so 3 cents I loss off his, which obviously, because I invested about 2 or 3 days ago, it's not going to move, and the markets are obviously closed on the weekend as I'm recording. So if we go on to the other one, Nezutron. Now, I've been investing with her for about 3 weeks now, I think. I invested $295, which is roughly about 225 quid or so, or something like that. So far I've made a $12.93 profit, which is 4%, which is really quite good actually. I'm really impressed with Nezutron. She's very, very clear with how she posts on her feed. She tells people about what she's going to invest in, what she's taking her money out of, and what she thinks of the market, what she thinks of news, things like that could affect values. So yeah, there's loads of information that she uses. If you can see here, she's got 4,000 copiers, 17,600 followers, so that's really, really good news. So if we go on her stats, she has absolutely been smashing it. So in 2020 she made 126%, which if you invested £1,000 over the year, you would have made £1,260 on top of that investment, so it would be worth £2,260, which is crazy. So far she's been really doing well in 2021. It's been a difficult year for most investors just because of coronavirus and the effect that it's had, the tumbling effect over the years that it's had on manufacturing and things like that. So really, really impressive. She had a superb October, and I'm really, really pleased to have managed to got in early when I did. So yeah, she's got some really nice investments, loads of big name companies. You can see here the profits on some of her investments have been absolutely fantastic. So going back to my portfolio, I've made $12.90 in the space of a month and a half, and that's just from £200 per month, so £400 overall. So I'm really, really happy. It's not a huge amount, but it's better than inflation, and my money is working for me. I will continue to add funds into the account and obviously grow this investment portfolio. Guys, I hope that's made sense to you guys. If you do have any questions about investing and how to get into it, please feel free to comment down below. I will try and answer as many questions as possible. So far so good. I really would recommend using eToro, Trading 212, set up your practice accounts, use the practice money, get investing, see what happens, and try and work out a system for yourself. Try and find traders that you can understand and you can see their logic behind their investments. It really will pay dividends in the long run for yourself. Another thing I'm going to do on the YouTube channel is, if you're interested in following my journey, is every month I'm going to be producing a report of all my investments, what returns I've had, what investments I've actually made. And yeah, so you're going to see my whole journey from being a beginner to getting more and more experience in trying to grow my investment portfolio. So if you enjoyed today's video, guys, please give it a thumbs up, comment anything you want down below, subscribe to the channel please, it really does help me out. I'll catch you on the next one, guys.